So for this trick, all I'm going to be needing is a pack of playing cards. We can take this deck, give it a couple of shuffles, and we can even give it a couple of cuts, just to ensure that the entire deck is completely mixed up. So I'm going to begin by having my spectator go ahead and choose any card from the middle of the deck that they like. Let's say they want to go ahead and choose this card right here, but this is a 100% free choice. And for this example, they happen to have chosen the 4 of clubs. Get out of here, bro. That's insane. You'll have to forgive me, guys. This actually was not supposed to happen because the 4 of clubs is the only printed card in this entire deck. What am I even talking about? Well, look, you can see 4 of clubs. There's because there's black ink on the face of this card. But that's not the case with the rest of the deck because, well, this deck is actually a completely blank deck of cards. All of the cards have no ink printed on them at all. They're all just white and blank. And, well, your card, the 4 of clubs, is the only card in the entire deck that has been printed with ink. And, well, as crazy as that is, that wasn't exactly supposed to happen. So I need to rectify this in some sort of way. And I ran into the situation a couple years back. I'm not sure I remember what to do. It had to do with shaking the card in some way. It was, I'm trying to recall, shaking the... Oh, yes. I remember. It just took me a second. But if I do remember this correctly, I'm pretty sure all we need to do is shake the card over the top of the deck, just as so. And I think if we do that, we have one card printed, but not just one card. We have the entire deck printed once again. You'll have to forgive me. I think I might have messed up again because the 4 of clubs, I left it outside the deck during that process. So I have a sneaky suspicion it might be the only blank. Yep. It's now the only blank card in the entire deck. So I now have another small little issue here that I need to fix one way or another. So there was a very specific way to do this, and I think all I need to do is shake the card. You'll have to tell me, how did you go about shaking the card again? Spectator would show me how they shook the card, and I would just try to recreate that the best that I can. Well, I have to do it over the top of the deck. So we shake, and hopefully, yes, now the blank card is now printed back into that 4 of clubs once again. And hopefully at this point now, all the cards should be normal once again. Anyways, guys, that was the trick. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. So now let's get straight into the tutorial. Yo, what is going on, guys? It is Cardtrix 8 here. Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I'm going to be teaching you the card trick that you just watched me perform a couple moments ago. Now, I like to call this one the blank deck. It's not an original name, it's not an original idea. I don't know what the actual name of the trick is or who created it. If you guys do happen to know, please comment it in the comment section below because I actually am pretty curious where this trick originated from. So yeah, definitely let me know, but I don't have much to say really. Just remember, follow me on Instagram, Cardtrix_8, posting some exclusive magic content, some fun stuff over there. Check that out. But yeah, let's learn how to do this trick. Alright guys, hopefully you stuck around for the tutorial. Now, I feel like I say this a lot about most of the tricks on my channel, but this one is not too difficult to perform. There are a couple of sleights here and there that if you're not familiar with them already, it may take a little bit of practice in order to get down pat, but other than that, this should be a pretty simple trick. So all you're going to be needing for this trick is any deck of cards as well as a blank card, which we'll get into in just a minute. For this video, I'm going to be using the red cherry casinos, which I think it's pretty obvious that these cards are red because I'm assuming if you're watching this video you have eyes and you can see that they're red. And if you don't have eyes, that's quite frankly, that's very, very unfortunate. I'm very, very sorry for you, and I don't know how you'd be watching this video in the first place. And now that I think about it, I should probably watch what I'm saying because this is 2021 and we do live in a day and age where I can get canceled for appropriating those who don't have eyes. So yeah, but anyways, let's get back to what matters. Not you, not Black Lives, but this card trick. So like I said, all you're going to be needing is a normal deck of cards as well as the help of one special gimmick card, not a double backer, but a blank card. So yeah, you don't need like a special gimmick deck or anything. You just need a normal deck of 52 playing cards and then just one blank card, and then you can do this trick. Now, a lot of decks nowadays do come with blank cards like these Red Cherry Casinos did, but if you don't have a deck that comes with any blank cards, you don't own a blank card, you can either make your own. I will leave a link in the description box below to a video that will teach you how to do so, or you can actually just buy some online for very, very cheap. I'll leave some links to where you can purchase them in the description box below as well. Now, there is no real true setup. The rest of the deck is completely mixed up. All you need to do is take your blank card, put it on the bottom of the deck, and then you are ready to perform. So to start this off, you can introduce the deck, and you can give the cards as many shuffles, as many cuts, as many mix-ups as you want. The only requirement is you maintain the blank card on the bottom of the deck. So feel free to mix up the cards wherever you wish. Then you're going to spread through the cards and have the spectator pick any card they want. This is a 100% free choice. Let's say for this example, they want to touch this card right here. Now, regardless of what card they pick, in this case, they happen to have chosen the Jack of Hearts, you're going to have the same exact reaction every single time. So you're going to be like, whoa, the Jack of Hearts, that's impossible. That shouldn't be. Because it's the only printed card in the entire deck. People can be like, what are you talking about? And at this point, you can just set the card off to the side and you can say, look, because this deck is completely blank. So you expose this blank card. Now, again, the rest of the deck is completely normal. So in order to display this deck as completely blank, you're going to execute what is known as a blank fan. It looks a little something like this. So I'm just doing a traditional thumb fan, but when you do this in your right hand with one blank card on the face of the deck, the rest of the edges will all appear white, and this creates the illusion that the entire deck is blank, when in reality, as you can see again, everything is just completely normal. Now, a lot of people are used to fanning the deck in their left hand because this will fan all the pips, and my fan is kind of trash in this hand, to be honest with you. It just feels very uncomfortable for me, but it's much better in this hand, hence why I can do a blank fan super, super well. So basically, all you need to practice if you don't know how to do it already is what is known as a thumb fan in the right hand, and then you will be able to naturally just do a blank fan just as so. Okay, I'm not going to go over how to do a fan in depth in this tutorial. I will leave a link in the description as well to a video that will teach you how to do a thumb fan if you need to learn. Alright, so anyways, you're going to do your thumb fan, display all the cards as completely blank, and then pull this card over and hold this image. This is a very, very powerful moment because a spectator sees a blank deck, one printed card, and they pick this only card. This will blow their mind. So don't rush this moment. Hold this image very still. Now, at this point, if you can, close the fan with one hand and square it up against your body. If you can't do that, just set the card down and close it with two hands, no big deal. Now, once you're in this position, you need to catch a break on underneath the blank card. So this is as simple as just pushing off the top card, pulling back, and catching a break. And you want to do it under the guise of some sort of hand gesture like this, just so it is completely invisible. So you can see right there, I've obtained the break, all right? So once you've attained the break, essentially what's going to be happening is you're going to be taking the selection, placing it on top of the deck, lifting up both cards as one from the break, and flipping the deck over. But there's a couple of things that should be noted here. You don't simply just want to catch the break and then set this on top of the deck. Why? Because there's no justification for doing so. You're setting the card on top of the deck and picking it right back up. There's no justification for putting it on top of the deck in that case. So you need to create that justification, and I think that's very, very important. And for this trick, it's actually really easy to do. All you need to do is take the selection, and you're going to say something along the lines of, oh, this happened to me a couple years back. What did I have to do to fix this? I had to do with shaking the card. It was something like... So all I'm doing is I'm setting it down and I'm snapping my fingers, acting like I'm thinking, because a lot of people do that. They think out loud and they snap their fingers as if they're trying to find a thought, search for a thought. So that's the justification. Super, super simple, looks natural. Shit, what was that? Oh yeah, I have to shake it. And as I'm doing that, I just square it up with the top. So now I have the break in the top two cards. And now you don't simply just want to lift up these two cards because obviously you'll flash the face of the deck. So all you're going to do is you're going to tilt it forward slightly as if you were going to do a turnover pass. And essentially all you're doing is you're taking the deck and just flipping it over behind the card just as so. So all in all, it should look something like this. Let's see. I have to fix this somehow. I think I have to do with shaking the card. Oh, yeah, yes. I remember. So it should look something like that. All right. So again, at this point, there are two cards here. Make sure you keep them square because they think it's just one card. You're going to bring this card over here, and all you're going to do is a double lift, take both cards, turn them over as one, push it back off. So they think this is the selection, but now this is actually the blank card, and their selection is right here on top of the deck. So now you're going to hold this card by the corners, and you'll see why in a little bit why you want to hold it by the corners. Oh, actually, excuse me, never mind, because you're going to hand this card to the spectator, and just make sure they don't turn it over, obviously, because this isn't their card. You're going to hand this card to the spectator, and you're just going to tell them to shake the card over the deck. That's all you're going to tell them to do. And then tell them to set the card off to the side. So they set the card off to the side. And with that, again, this is pretty much self-working. And now all you need to do is flip the deck over and just spread through to show all the cards somehow now have printed themselves. Now, obviously, don't spread all the way because their selection, the Jack of Hearts, is right here. So just make sure you don't spread and flesh that card. Now, pro tip right here. Since you did the blank fan earlier, what you should do instead of spreading the cards like I did in the performance, you should obviously do a fan in the other hand, because this will show all the pips and it recreates that same image, fan and fan, so it makes a little more sense to the spectator's eyes. It just keeps everything more symmetrical, it keeps everything more congruent in terms of the trick, if that makes sense. The reason why I didn't fan the cards is because my fan in my left hand is absolutely trash, so I just decided to spread through the cards. But either way works. So at this point, that's going to blow the spectator's mind, and most of them will probably think the trick is over by now. But now you have this little extra kicker where you say, oh, well, I actually left your card out of the deck, so now it's the only blank card. And this is another very powerful moment. And again, if you can fan the cards very good in your left hand, I would do the same exact thing. Fan the cards and then hold that blank card out. Because now you're showing a reverse image of what you showed earlier. Blank deck, one printed card, and then you're showing entire printed deck, one blank card. So it's a very, very nice visual moment for the spectator. So now you're at this point, and you're going to magically somehow get their card to print itself once again. This is how you're going to do it. You're going to flip the deck over in your hand, just as so. And again, do the same thing like you're trying to think about how to fix it under some sort of hand gesture like I'm doing right now. Push off that top card and catch the pinky break like I have done. This is their card, by the way, in case you forgot. So you have the break. You have the blank card here. And once again, you're going to set the blank card on top and lift up both cards as one secretly. But again, you don't simply just want to set it down and lift it up, because there's no justification for putting it on top of the deck in that scenario. So you need to create the justification. And again, do the same exact thing. You're going to say, okay, I think if we shake the card again, we should be able to do this. Now you'll have to show me how did you go about shaking the card. So I set it over here to do this with my hand, and that creates a justification for putting the card down. So maybe I'll hand them the blank card. They can show me the shaking action they did, and all I need to do is recreate that per se. So now I have a break on the blank card and their selection. I'm going to lift up both cards, so I have two cards as one here, and I'm holding it by the corners. That's very, very important right here. I'm holding it by these two corners just as so, and this is the top right hand corner on the middle finger and the bottom left hand on the thumb. Now that's because I'm doing this in my left hand. If you're holding this card right now in your right hand, then it's the two opposite corners, okay? And essentially, you're going to try to recreate the shake the best you can. And the big secret here is you're doing what is known as the shake change. Now, the shake change looks a little something like this. Very, very, very visual change. And it's very, very simple. All that's happening is you're shaking the cards. And as you come forward, you're going to come forward with like this big oomph, if that makes sense. And on this action, you're just taking your index finger and rotating the card around. So it's just like this. Shake, shake, shake. Shake, 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 shake. So again, full speed, it should look a little something like this. And it visually looks like their card just prints itself right in front of the spectator's eyes. So from here, you obviously have a double. You need to clean this up. For this, you can simply just put the card on top of the deck, push it off, and show. And you end clean.